Do you ever feel ordinary? Do you ever feel like I'm not that special? Good, because God has huge plans for you if you walk with Him just being average, ordinary you. Let's take a look at 1 Kings chapter 17. In 1 Kings chapter 17, Elijah becomes a major player in Israel. It's a dark time. Everyone's worshiping Baal and Asherah. Almost no worshipers of God. There are 7,000 that have not bowed the knee to Baal, but they're all in hiding. So there's basically nothing going on. And one day Elijah says, I'm going to pray that it won't rain. And it won't rain until I say it rains. James talks about this in James chapter 5 and verse 17. He says, Elijah was a man like us. And he prayed that it wouldn't rain. It didn't rain for 3.5 years. Just like you, just like me, we can be used by God if we just pray, if we just ask Him. I like how Elijah says it. He says, as the Lord lives, the Lord was the supreme reality in his life. He stood before a king, but it didn't matter. He says, before whom I stand. He's talking about God. He says, but I stand before God, greater than all. So he prays this, and then God takes him into hiding. You wouldn't think that God wants you to hide, but sometimes He does. Takes him to the brook Cherith. And it's the hidden life that you have with God that gives you your power. The life that no one else sees, that walk with God that is between you and Him. That constant conversation that's always going on between you and God. Solitude away from the crowd is where the power comes from. And a good man is never more not alone than when he is alone, because you understand the presence of God. And so God used this brook Cherith experience to feed him and to strengthen him. And then one day the brook runs dry. God begins to answer the prayer of no rain, and so now it's affecting even him. And so then God leads him to a widow, and He provides food for her. He makes her oil not run out and the meal not run out, and then even raises her son from the dead. All of these things are happening in succession, and one can't happen before the other. He has to have the brook Cherith experience before he has the widow experience. Can you see that walking with God is very time sensitive? That as you walk with God, God gives you what you need at that time? It's a powerful truth that God wants you to live out today. And so my challenge to you is to walk with the King today and be a blessing to everyone that you come into contact with.